Hi, welcome to the Parents Math Tutor. If you already watched my comparing numbers video just for parents, you have the background knowledge you need to teach your children comparing numbers at home. But this video is just for your students. You can sit them down in front of the computer and they can follow along a comparing numbers lesson with me. Hey friends, if you're watching this video, it's because your parents would like to have you get extra practice at comparing numbers. So I'm going to practice with you. The first one I'm going to do today is just an example. I just want you to watch and listen and see how I compare the two numbers. And then if you want to grab a piece of paper or a whiteboard for the second example, you can join me. All right, we're going to start out with 571 and 574. When you're comparing these two numbers, you need to know to look at the hundreds place first. So in both numbers, I have 500. Well, if I stopped there, I would say that 500 is equal to 500. And I don't want to stop there because I know that I wrote two different numbers down. So in order to fully compare these numbers, I actually have to move to the tens place and compare the tens place numbers. So when I move over, I see that in the first number there's a 70, and in the second number there's a 70. So again, I'm at the same number, they're equal. And so I have to move to that last place value to see if these numbers are truly equal or if one is greater than or less than the other. So when I move to the ones place in the first number, I have a 1, and in the second number, I have a 4. Okay, well, these are the only two that are different, so let's just draw a pictorial model of 1 and a pictorial model of 4. So there's 1 unit, and under the other number, I'm going to draw 4 units. Okay, just with your eyes, can you see which number is greater? Can you see which number has more? Go ahead and say it out loud. Which number has more? Excellent. Yes, the number with a 4 in the ones place has more because I can see with my eyes that 4 is greater than 1. Now, we have to make a special symbol to show that 574, the second number, is greater than the first number, and the first number is less than the second number. So I'm going to draw 2 dots next to the bigger number, and I'm going to draw 1 dot next to the smaller number, and that's because 2 is greater than 1. When I connect these dots, it creates a special mathematical symbol that stands for words that we use when comparing these numbers. So the symbol that I just drew is called the less than symbol. So when I say this comparison statement out loud, it sounds like this. 571 is less than 574. Okay, we've done one example together. Get your piece of paper out and let's do another. Okay, so now you're gonna join me in writing these numbers. If you need to pause the video because I go too fast, feel free to do that. Let's go ahead and start with the number 384 and the number 359. Okay. We're always going to start comparing in the largest place value. So let's look at the hundreds place. Okay, I've got a 300 and 384, and I have a 300 and 359. If I need to see these to compare them, I can always draw a pictorial model. So I know that if I draw 3 flats and 3 flats, those are the same number. I don't know which number is bigger yet. So I need to move to the tens place. Okay, I have an 80, so I'm going to draw 8 rods, and I have a 50, so I'm going to draw 5 rods, and it looks like I can stop my comparing there. Just by looking at the rods, I can tell that 8 rods is more than 5 rods. 80 is greater than 50, so 384 is the greater number in this situation. Let's go ahead and put 2 dots next to the greater number and 1 dot next to the smaller number and connect those dots. This is another mathematical symbol that means something. Last time we did less than. This time we did greater than, and these are what those two symbols look like. So the symbol we just drew actually means greater than. So I would read this comparison statement like this. 384 is greater than 359, and that's because 8 tens is 3 more tens than 5 tens. Let's do one more. This one is going to be different because I'm going to give you the numbers in pictorial model. Draw these with me. So if you need to pause the video to draw your pictorial models, that's okay. Wait till I draw the second number and then go ahead and pause so that you can get caught up. All right, we're gonna compare these two numbers two different ways with words and symbols. So I'm actually going to go ahead at the bottom. I'm going to give myself some lines to write on. If you're writing on lined paper, you won't have to do that. But we need lines to compare these two numbers with words. And then I'm just going to draw some little lines to compare these numbers with symbols. And you'll see in a minute why I drew it this way. Okay, so now we need to figure out what numbers we're working with. So when I look at the first pictorial model, I can see that I have a thousands cube. And so when I go to write this number in standard form, I'm going to write a 1 in the thousands place. And I have 3 flats, so I'm going to write a 3 in the hundreds place. I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, so 5 rods. And then I have 3 units, so this number is 1,353. Let's look at the other number. Okay, we still have a thousands cube, so I'm going to write 1,000. I still have 3 flats, so I'm going to write 300. I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, so I have 8 tens. And I have 1 unit. So the second number is 1,381. All right, since in this video we've already talked about comparing with symbols, let's do the comparison symbols first. Down at the bottom, I gave myself some spaces to write the numbers and the symbols. So I'm going to start by writing the first number down, 1,353, and the other number, 1,381. I can see that both numbers have 1,000 because I always start in the biggest place value place to compare. So I have to move over to the hundreds place. Both numbers have 300. So I have to move over to the tens place. I have a 50 in the first number and an 80 in the second number. I can see in the pictorial model that 8 rods is more than 5 rods. So I'm going to put 2 dots next to the number with the 80 because it's the larger number. And I'm going to put 1 dot next to the smaller number. And I'm going to connect those dots to make the less than symbol. Because 1,353 is less than 1,381. But what if I put 1,381 first instead of second? Will I still have a less than symbol? Let's see. So I'm going to write the numbers, but I'm going to flip-flop them. I'm going to put 1,381 first. In this case, when I put 2 dots next to the greater number and 1 dot next to the smaller number and connect them, it makes the complete opposite symbol. 1,381 is greater than 1,353. So I've compared 2 different ways with symbols, but now I need to turn those mathematical symbols into the words they represent. So on those lines, I'm going to write 1,353, and this symbol means is less than 1,381. Excellent. So what if we put the greater number first? Would I still write the words is less than? Let's try it. 1,381. This symbol means is greater than. It does not mean less than, so I have to write different words. Is greater than 1,353. Man, great job today comparing numbers with me. I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks, guys. I hope you got a lot out of this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.